Kohlberg viewed the development of moral understanding as three levels broken up into six separate stages. As moral understanding develops, the higher up the stages a person progresses. The beginning three stages focus primarily on children's morality development, while the final three stages generally occur during adolescence and adulthood. Everyone is said to start at stage 1 and progress in order through stage 6 as people develop with age. Breaking it down, according to Kohlberg, there are three separate stages of moral understanding: the pre-conventional level, the conventional level, and the post-conventional level, also referred to as the principled level. Each of these three levels of reasoning are further broken down into two stages each. At the pre-conventional level, morality is externally controlled. Children accept the rules of authority figures and judge actions by their consequences. Behaviors that result in punishment are viewed as bad, those that lead to rewards as good. The first stage of this level is labeled the punishment and obedience orientation. In this stage, children are more concerned with avoiding punishment and less worried about the reasons behind a person's actions. The basis of decision-making is completely centered on the possibility of punishment. If a child believes the outcome of an action will result in punishment, a well-adjusted child will most likely not perform the action. If the child doesn't have reason to fear punishment in committing an action, the child will decide that it is morally acceptable to commit said action. The second stage under this level is called the instrumental purpose of orientation. Children in this stage follow the ideal, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. They believe in equal exchange and are beginning to understand that others outside of themselves have needs much like themselves. This is the stage where fairness is a recurring theme. Next, there is the conventional level, where individuals continue to regard conformity to social rules as important, but not for reasons of self-interest. Rather, they believe that actively maintaining the current social system ensures positive human relationships and societal order. Stage 3, found under the conventional level, is the good boy, good girl orientation, or the morality of interpersonal cooperation. In this stage, children want to be seen in a positive light and wish to maintain social harmony. Being good is to follow the rules that are most socially acceptable. Intentions begin to play a role in determining if something is moral or immoral. For example, if a person had good intentions when committing an act, then it is excusable and to be considered moral. The fourth stage, labeled the social order maintaining orientation, is the first stage to take into account the laws upheld by society. Prior to this point in development, moral decision-making has been based upon relationships to others. Now, laws govern what is thought to be moral. Every person is to be held to the same standard under the careful scaling of Lady Justice. All members of society are beholden to the laws and the keeping of the laws in order for society to function properly. The last and final level is the post-conventional or principled level. Burke explains individuals at the post-conventional level move beyond unquestioning support of the laws and the rules of their own society. They define morality in terms of abstract principles and values that apply to all situations and societies. The fifth stage, the social contract orientation, individuals view laws more as guidelines than in concrete terms. Those that fall into this category follow that laws can and should be changed as society changes in order to maintain a fair social contract. Stage 6 is named the Universal Ethical Principle Orientation. This stage could be considered an abstract utopian ideal. Order is maintained through self-imposed moral principles rather than through social contract or governed laws. Each member of society is to uphold a certain standard of behavior without control of a governing body. People are to honor and respect all members of society, going as far as to eliminate personal ownership and consider all things to be without cost. To determine where a person falls in Kohlberg's stages of moral understanding, first a dilemma is presented to the individual. For this demonstration, Kohlberg's Heinz dilemma will be used. Next, several questions are asked of the participants. In this case, 10 two-part questions will be asked. Lastly, depending on the responses of the participants, a placement will be assigned. For example, if a child were asked if hitting was wrong and the child answered yes because he will get in trouble, it could be inferred that this child is in the first stage of moral development. In order to demonstrate this process, I will be posing a dilemma to two participants of differing ages. I will ask each participant a series of questions in response to the dilemma. In their answers, the stages of moral development in which they each fall will be determined. The first participant is Kevin. He's a 19-year-old college freshman progressing towards a certificate in welding. His hobbies include hunting, fishing, kayaking, and football. He is the youngest of 3 children and lives with both parents. The second participant is Trent. He is 11 years old going into the 6th grade. His hobbies include fishing, exploring nature, studying animal biology, and gaming. He is the oldest of 3 children and lives with both parents. Each of the participants will be given the same dilemma and asked the same questions in order to view the differing responses from 2 different age groups. The hypothesis is that Kevin will be in the 4th stage of moral development, while Trent will be in the 3rd stage of moral development. This hypothesis is based upon the ages of the participants. The following dilemma is known as the Heinz dilemma, followed by Kevin and Trent's responses.
Heinz's wife is dying because of a special kind of cancer. There's only one drug that the doctors think might save her. It is a new formula which a pharmaceutical company in the same town has recently discovered. The drug is very expensive to produce, but the company is charging 10 times the production cost. Heinz goes to everyone he knows to borrow money, but he can only collect half of what the drug costs. He tells the CEO of the company that his wife is dying and asks him to sell it for less so if he could pay at a later time. But the CEO refuses. He can make no exceptions. The research had been very expensive and the company needs to turn in a profit. What should happen next?
Okay, Kevin, I've read you the dilemma. Should Heinz steal the drug?
I think so, because if he hadn't, his wife would have died.
Okay, is it actually right or wrong for him to steal the drug?
I think it's right because, like I said, if he doesn't, his wife doesn't live.
Okay. Does Heinz have a duty or obligation to steal the drug?
Yeah, saving his wife's life.
That's more important than getting in trouble?
Yeah.
Okay. If Heinz doesn't love his wife, should he steal the drug for her? Does it make a difference in what Heinz should do whether or not he loves his wife? If he didn't love his wife, should he steal it for her still?
Well, it's his wife, so I think so.
Okay. Suppose the person that is dying is not his wife but a stranger. Should Heinz steal the drug to save the stranger?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Okay. Suppose it's a pet that he loves. Should Heinz steal to save the pet? Even though it's just an animal.
I'm going to go with no.
No?
A human's more important than a pet.
Okay. Is it important for people to do everything they can to save another's life?
If you can, you can save someone, do it.
Okay. It is against the law for Heinz to steal. Does that make it morally wrong?
No, he's saving his wife's life.
Which is more important than?
Yeah.
Okay. In general, should people try to do everything they can to obey the law?
Yeah. Because it's the law.
Because it's the law. But it's okay for him to steal to save a life?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does this apply to what Heinz should do? He should still steal, even though it's against the law?
Yeah, because he saves his wife's life.
And thinking back over the dilemma, what would you say is the most responsible thing for him to do?
Can you repeat that?
Thinking back over the problem, what do you think is the most responsible thing for Heinz to do?
He could have pulled out a loan. Not have to steal.
That's a good idea. All right, that's it. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay, Trent, I've told you about the Heinz dilemma. Should Heinz steal the drug for his wife?
Yes.
He should steal the drug?
Yes, because his wife is going to die.
Is it actually right or wrong for him to steal the drug?
It's wrong, but he has to do it anyway.
Why is that?
Because his wife is going to die.
Why is it wrong for him to steal the drug, though?
It's wrong because it's illegal.
Okay. Does Heinz have an obligation to steal the drug? Should he do it?
Yes.
Yes, why?
Because his wife is going to die.
If Heinz doesn't love his wife, Should he steal the drug for her?
No.
No? Why does it make a difference?
Because he doesn't love his wife.
So he should just let her die?
Yes.
Okay.
It's still kind of cruel.
Suppose the person dying is not his wife but a stranger. Should Heinz steal the drug for the stranger?
No.
Why?
Because it's illegal. And strangers are mean sometimes.
Okay. Suppose it's a pet that he loves. Should Heinz steal to save the pet?
Yes.
Why?
Because he loves his pet.
Is it important for people to do everything they can to save another's life?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's helpful. Saving lives.
So even if it's stealing,
Yes.
they should still help people.
Yes.
Okay. Is it against the, or it is against the law for Heinz to steal? Does that make it morally wrong? For, like, inside wrong?
No.
No? Why?
Because he has to save his wife, or his dog, or his son if he has one.
In general, should people try to do everything they can to obey the law?
Yes.
Why?
Because they don't want to go to prison.
So they should only obey laws so that they don't get in trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this, I think this
So
is the one.
how does this apply to what Heinz should do?
To steal the drug and save his wife.
Okay. And thinking back over the problem, what would you say is the most responsible thing for Heinz to do?
Right.
What should he do?
Steal the drug.
He should go ahead and steal it?
Yep.
Okay. Why is that?
So he could save his wife from
Okay.
death.
Okay. Thank you, Trid.
That's it.
In reviewing Kevin's answers to the questions regarding the Heinz dilemma, we're able to see that Kevin is emerging from the fourth stage of moral development, the social order maintaining orientation under the conventional level, and to the fifth stage of moral development, the social contract orientation under the post-conventional level. Kevin still follows that certain aspects of the law need to be followed at all times. However, as evidenced by his nonverbal communication, we're able to see that he is in conflict with this belief. He believes we are to follow the law because it is right, although, and this is where the fifth stage is made evident, we have moral obligations to go beyond the boundaries of the law in order to do what is right. For example, Kevin stated that people are to do everything they can in order to follow the law, but just moments before he replied that all humans are obligated to do what they can to save the lives of others, stranger or not. This belief, however, does not extend to animals. Analyzing Trent's interview, we can see that Trent falls under several different stages. Trent believes we need to follow laws in order to avoid punishment. This seems to be a lingering influence from the first stage, the punishment and obedience orientation under the pre-conventional level. Trent stated that we must avoid breaking laws because going to prison is a possible punishment. It could be inferred that Trent's response to saving those that are loved demonstrates shades of the second stage, the instrumental purpose of orientation, also under the pre-conventional level. By saving those Heinz loves, he is sparing himself the heartache from loss, acting out of self-interest. Stage 3, the good boy-girl orientation under the conventional level, is witnessed in Trent's reasons for stealing. Trent considers stealing to save a life as acceptable because Heinz's intentions are well placed. It is in this third stage that the intentions of actions first comes into play in moral development. Therefore, Trent also falls under the third level categorization. Additionally, Trent uses the argument of following the law to explain why stealing is sometimes unacceptable. The stage of development is the fourth stage, the social order maintaining orientation under the conventional level. Lastly, in reviewing Trent's responses, we are confronted with some conflicting beliefs. Trent had said that Heinz should not steal for his wife if he didn't love her, nor should he steal for a stranger. When asked if it was important to do what was ever necessary to save a person, he stated that it was important because it was the right thing to do. Additionally, Trent rationalized that people are to do everything possible to uphold the laws to avoid punishment, but permits unlawful behavior to save loved ones and pets, strangers excluded. Given his age, it is unsurprising for Trent to have conflicting answers. In conclusion, Kevin was found to be in both the fourth and fifth stages of moral development, whereas Trent spanned stages 1 through 4.